Is that my volume or your volume sounds pretty low?
How's that?
There we go.
Welcome everybody to the Fighter Share Report. It's Sunday, around 11:30. Some people say it's the beginning of the week. Some people say it's the end of the week. All I know is it's the weekend. So, hey, it's gonna be a good show. We're gonna talk about some cool things. What's going on, bro?
Hey man, like you said, brother, it's a Sunday, end of the week, beginning of the week. I'm here, happy to be here with you. Let's do it.
It can stay in the 30s. I'm good with it. 20s, 30s. I'm good with it.
I mean, when you got that natural insulation, bro, it's cool. I get it.
Real men come from the north, so we can deal with.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. That sums it all up. Let's
we can deal with the cold.
I'm saying these names not because they're essentially the best fighters out there, which we can make a case for Shakur Stevenson, definitely. They just look that much better than whoever they fight.
I think he might want to keep this thing on the feet and stay any way possible. Stay away from that guillotine choke. He was squeezing Buddy's face in the last fight and put him out.
Come on, dog. Let's fight.
Welcome to the Fighter Share Report.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, we had some MMA fights for you this weekend. Let's start off on Friday night on Showtime. And because we're talking about both in the same segment, we're going to deal with the main events. What did you think about the Chris Cyborg versus Leslie Smith fight?
I didn't think anything of it because honestly, I feel like most people feel like that Chris Cyborg is, some will say the number 2 woman fighter in the world, some will say top 5, but either way, I didn't think Leslie was going to be much of a test, and she proved not to be. That was a vicious beating she took by at the hands of Chris Cyborg. My bigger question is, what in the hell was the ref doing?
Watching like we were?
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to protect the fighters too, ref, and not let it take a continual beating like that. But hell of a performance by Cyborg. I mean, just adds to her legacy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I just love how they build up these fights. It's like the UFC must put like a boot camp out for promoting fights, because I'm watching this fight and I'm listening to the commentary and I'm sitting here saying, really? You guys, I mean, before the fight, you guys really think Leslie Smith, the fight was stopped too early the first time? Maybe that's what the ref was thinking, because they kept saying the fight was stopped too early the first time, and Smith felt like she had a good shot at winning, and da-da-da. So the ref said, you know what? You ain't going to call me on that one again. I'm going to let this thing go and go and go and go. And then eventually, with 9 seconds left in the fight, I'm going to stop the fight. I got to stop it now.
Who was the referee for that fight? Was it Big John or Dan Mergliotta? Who was it? Who was refereeing that fight?
It might have been Dan. John
Dan
commentates.
Mergliotta? No. Yeah. Dan, you got to do better.
No, Dan. Good job. Good job, Dan. Good job. They ain't going to ever come in and say you stopped the fight too early again.
It was a rough night for refs last night, but continue on. What else we got?
So, and then we got the UFC, bro. We got the main event in the UFC, which I thought was a heck of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Font, who, you're everything Florida. You're always talking about Florida. You never mentioned that Rob Font got into MMA in Tampa, no less, while delivering pizzas.
Yeah, I never knew that. I always thought he was just a guy that got in up there in New England. I didn't know that he got his initial root started here in Tampa, so that was news to me, bro.
But then he moved, once he understood the game, moved to New England and, put on a heck of a performance last night. I thought, and we all know Cody Garbrandt was a heck of an amateur boxer. Mm-hmm. So I don't think Cody used all of his skills to the best of his ability last night. That's just my opinion.
No, that's a pretty good assessment. I just thought that Rob was the better striker last night in an odd way. Like it just seemed like, and again, like you said, we know that Cody has the pedigree in the background. We've seen him on display looking like a master boxer in there. But last night, I'm not so sure if he was worried about the scrambles, which it was a lot of that going on too, which may have been the reason why he really wasn't just letting his hands go like we normally see. But Rob took advantage of that. He was the more deliberate, the more intentional striker. And it got to a point where the fight ended up being a scramble a lot of the way on the ground. It was a great fight, like you said. We knew this going into it. We both talked about it. But yeah, I didn't expect it to go the way it did. But great fight, man. Great fight.
It was. And look, Rob's punches were hard, heavy, and slow.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said the more deliberate and effective striker.
Yeah, but I'm like, how are these punches reaching the target? A lot of them didn't, but he was consistent. He kept that same game plan. He said, I can't beat him if I try to take him down. Because he got taken down. But Cody didn't do anything when he got Rob on the ground. So Rob just kept throwing them jabs, right. Jabs, jab, right. And eventually, he just had too many rounds that he added up, and Cody, there's nothing Cody could do.
When you get to the high level of any combat sport, in particular one where you use your hands, like MMA or boxing, sometimes it's the fundamentals that win fights.
Imagine that.
And like you said, that basic 1-1-2, 1-1-2, that's what did it.
Yeah. It just thuds. When he did hit him, you could see, you could hear it and feel it, even with the jab. All right. So, look, we had some boxing on last night. And two friends of the show, people who have been on the show, fought in the not the undercard, but fought on the main card.
On the main event card.
First, we got Kenneth Bossman Sims. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bravo.
Do you remember who he fought?
Yeah, a guy that we were both, well, I can't speak for you, but for me, I know a guy was really high on Elvis Rodriguez, a young Dominican prospect, reared up under Freddie Roach, who has been looking superb throughout the entire pandemic. This is going to be a lesson for him, but listen, I am happy for Kenneth Sims. We don't get to see him a lot. Him and his pops seem to understand how they want to move his career. That was a big, big win for him because he was the opponent. He was not supposed to win that fight.
Correct.
Kudos to him and everybody in Colorado Springs and in Houston and everywhere else he's been. That's been helping him prepare
Chicago,
for the fight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man, I hope y'all saw the movie, the documentary that he was a part of. Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Yeah, I think it's still available. Still out there. Pull it up.
Yeah, listen. I was proud of him. I was. And then your man from Philly, Hammer and Hank Lundy.
Hey, that's our man.
He is.
Yeah.
I said, is that Hank?
Yeah. Bro, I didn't know he was on the card. We were trying to get him on the show. I didn't know that.
Right.
But I did see him preparing for a fight, but for whatever reason, it didn't click and didn't dawn on me that this is the fight he was getting ready for.
Awesome. I looked at that. I was like, yes. And look, Hank looked good last night.
I mean, like we always say, bro, what happens, right? Who always wins? Father Time and Mother Nature, right? And Hank looked like a 37-year-old man out there fighting at times. But he showed you that with heart, with being in shape, right? And knowing your way around the ring. There's something to be said about veteran savvy. He displayed all that last night because he wasn't exactly looking like, even them legs were looking fresh, especially early on in the fight.
They were looking shaky on the ring walk. Yeah.
Yeah, he gave Zapata some things to look at and some things to ponder on. Don't know if Zapata's going to be who they thought he was, but he got the win nonetheless. But hey, shouts out to Hammer and Hank for keeping it together.
Yeah, because Hank fought his fight for the man. I had something I had to take care of around 7, 8, and I missed the conclusions. I missed who won. But Hank really made that fight his fight from what I saw.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, my dog say he ain't done yet. He got more to give, but we'll see. But we wish everybody the best, you know?
Yeah, that's all we
Everybody can go out on their own terms, however they want to do it.
Now, let's get to the big fight. Let's get to the main event. Talk to me.
Bro, what can I say? I would. I in particular have been hounding Josh Taylor for a while. You got on him after the Regis fight. You said, "Bro, this dude here is different." And I said, "Yeah, because it's not so much the boxing IQ; it's also this dog that you don't really see a lot. He has it. He's willing to fight you wherever you are. Now that may not be to his benefit in every fight, depending on who the opponent is. He was right there for Ramirez. He fought the fight that Ramirez thought he wanted to fight until it wasn't. It was close to the first 4 rounds. Now after that, the boy from Scotland put it on his ass.
Round 6 and 7.
Yeah.
He tasted the canvas. He put him on the canvas.
Bro, I don't know what happens for Ramirez going forward. And what I mean by that is his career is not in any jeopardy. I just don't know if he's peaked already or not. If this is how you're gonna look against everybody else, I don't know how many fights he's gonna win, bro. He showed some inexperience that I just didn't think I would see from an Olympian. Bro, the punch off the break, the shoulders cut. Like, what was that? Like, how did you miss that? Like, that's boxing 1-on-1. Protect yourself at all times. I was just kind of surprised by Ramirez's performance, but definitely Josh Taylor was the man.
Yeah. Now, does Taylor go to 47 like they kept talking about all last night, or does he just stay at 40?
The good thing about it is he's the master of his fate. He can do whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah. Stay at 40. You don't want 47. It's too jumbled. Look, Wilder, Fury 3 on July 24th. You posted an interesting question. Come on.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just taking a breath because I'm waiting for you to ask it. Waiting for you to put it out there.
No, you posted it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out why all the humming and hawing and the issue with Wilder Fury 3. There was a contract in place.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is, whether you think Fury is going to walk through Wilder or not, one thing that we do know is that you're going to be in for a treat, no matter who wins. So while we're complaining about a heavyweight fight with 2 of the best 3 heavyweights in the world fighting for a belt and for heavyweight supremacy back in Vegas with a packed house, listen, get over your bias or lack thereof or whatever you feel for Wilder, whether you believe his story or whether you didn't. He's earned the right. This was contractually put in place. And because the first fight was a draw, he's entitled to his 3rd fight. Let the man fight in his 3rd fight. Let the chips fall where they may. And listen, if you're a boxing fan, get ready for a treat. Because no matter how you feel about it, either Fury's going to knock Wilder out or Wilder going to knock Fury out, but it ain't going all 12. So at this point, I don't understand why we just saying, oh, just okay with the fight happening, because regardless of the outcome, one of these 2 gentlemen will be fighting Anthony Joshua before the end of the year.
It's gonna be interesting because you hear Fury go off on his rant last night on Top Rank on the show when they interviewed him, and about Wilder's an idiot for wanting to really come back and take this abuse again and da 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 da. But if it was that easy, then you would have just given him his rematch. It would have been simple. We wouldn't have gone through all this if it was going to be that easy for you to beat Wilder. I can't wait for the fight. I believe that the issue is people forget about the first fight. It's easy for people, and they believe what's currently being said. A lot of us get lost in the sauce. We believe what's currently being put out there. We don't look at the contract. We look at what the media is telling us. If you listen to ESPN, if you watch them, if you watch Top Rank in any form, you're going to hear people saying that Fury beat Wilder twice. He should be able to go on and fight Joshua to solidify the undisputed world champion. Fury beat Wilder once. And Wilder had the belt when Fury beat him. So, despite that draw is a wash. That draw doesn't even count at this point. Wilder gets his rematch like he should. Now, if Fury comes in there and can back up what he's saying, that he's going to destroy him and da-da-da-da and blase squaze, I bet you haven't heard that since the 80s, then Wilder just goes on his merry way. But he deserves his rematch. And, right is right. And we don't always get right in sports, but we get right this time when they got it right. Now, Wilder, make sure you have somebody in that room to check them gloves. Even if you got to check them when they get to the ring. I'm just saying, we don't need any more excuses, any more. The court saw enough evidence to say, the arbitrator saw enough evidence to say he deserves his rematch. He deserves it now. So
Yeah.
I would have gone a step further. For me, I would, especially when you have people who have said that they saw the issue with the gloves, I would have taken it to court. It would have been done in this country, and you would have had to not sue him, but you would have had to take the evidence to the police. And I know you're going to say this is way too much. And they would have had to charge him with something because he did put your life in jeopardy. That's what I would have done had I been his management. But, hey, nothing happened. Scratch it off. You get your rematch. Let's get it going.
I tell you what, these British boys, a lot of them talk trash and they back it up. Wilder, it's on you, bro. Nothing else matters. Now it's on you. It's squarely on you, and the world gonna be watching. So I hope you're ready.
Your 2 minutes.
So I was going to talk about something that was going to be outlandish. I was going to talk about food, but then something came across my timeline Friday, and I was like, how can I not talk about this? Manny Pacquiao was throwing a retirement party in August. Who knew? Who knew? And in case you know what I'm talking about, he signed a contract to fight Earl Spence. Why would he do that? I don't know. And I'm not saying it from a standpoint I think Manny Pacquiao's mincemeat. I'm not saying it from a standpoint I think Manny Pacquiao's going to get destroyed. I think it's going to be a lone after Manny Pacquiao. I think it's going to be a lone training camp. I think it's going to be a long fight week. I think it's going to be a long fight night. I think it's going to be a long next day after the fight. I am happy that Earl Spence gets this fight because it's time for him to start adding on to his legacy. This is the fight to do so. But more importantly, you know what this fight does? It guarantees two things: a Terrence Crawford fight and a Keith Thurman fight. You know why? Because after he beats Manny Pacquiao, he has nowhere else to go. And like all the predecessors and his homeboy and stablemate Jermell Charlo, he's going to want the gauntlet. He's going to want all the belts. He's picking up one from Pacquiao. There's only one more left to get. And that bro's Terrence Crawford. So that fight is going to happen, just like Wilder Fury 3 was going to happen, just like Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao was going to happen, except this time, these fights happen a little sooner than later. But for me, this gives me all the confidence to feel like we will definitely get the Earl Spence Terrence Crawford fight, because one thing we know that Earl Spence wants is to be undisputed. And there's one thing that we know is that his homeboy that trains next to him is about to be undisputed. And one thing we know about those two brothers, for what it's worth, man, when they click and they push each other, they're both really hard to beat. So, hey, cheers to Undisputed at 147 the next year.
I want to talk about something today that we will cover on the Beatdown this week. I saw a post from a friend of this show, from FOMI, Tierra Brown, that she finally got a fight. She finally got a call for a fight. Now, this is a woman who is holding multiple straps in different weight classes, different organizations, and she finally got a fight. And you would assume, being a casual boxing fan, that the champion can easily call somebody and get a fight. But in women's boxing, it doesn't happen that way. In women's boxing, they have to endure unless they are the flavor of the month or the flavor of the year. They hold straps. They pay the fees to hold these straps. They walk around with them, but they cannot always get an opportunity to defend them or to win more. But Tierra Brown posted yesterday, after all this, and we're talking I think, over a year and a half, something crazy like that. I forgot the number of months, but she'll be fighting someone who also holds a lot of straps and who also can't get a fight. We really have to support these women. We have to understand that they sacrifice just as much and sometimes more, because a lot of times they're left raising children while they try to continue their fight career and work. We have to support them and call for these organizations and call for the main boxing folk to pay them what they're deserved and to give them the time and the fights that they've earned.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, I saw her post that. I don't know if she got a fight or if she just got a call to go to camp with Jessica McCaskill. But either way, if she's got a fight, I'm all in. And the fact that she's getting paid to go spar with the champ to get her ready for the next fight, that's good too. So all things looking up for Tara Byrne right now. So good for her.
Yeah, man. She's a good person. A very good person. And when we just got a chance to talk to her on the show, it's like, wow. You know, you look at what she's going through, being officer of the year, being a fighter, you know, all that she's dealt with, and still having to bang on doors and make noise to try to get a fight as a world champion. It's just, you wonder what the belts mean in certain organizations. So shout out to my wife, shout out to my daughter, shout out to my mom, shout out to my pops, the Red Belly, shout out to everybody in Fighter Share Nation who's been watching and supporting. We appreciate it. Shout out to my wife again, because tomorrow is our 18th anniversary.
Well done, friend. Well done.
I'm still alive.
Well, and that is partly due to her. She keeps you lively. But listen, we want to thank everybody for rocking us today. We will see y'all tomorrow on our Let's Refine show, where we get to talk about all the things that's coming up this week and more about how we were right about the fights that happened yesterday. In the meantime, y'all spread the love out there. It's crazy. Prayers to the people in Italy. The tram fell off the cable in the mountains and it killed 12 people. So sad. Y'all check in with us. Y'all be safe. We'll see y'all Monday. Fire Nation, we out of here. Peace.